Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Much love, guys. Now, before we do get into today's story, I do want to give you a warning in case you want to skip it. Of course, it does contain talk of suicide within it, so if you do want to skip it, timestamps are always down in the description and along the timeline below. Thank you. And it's from Danielle K7238 and says, my boyfriend stole my necklace and gifted it to his sister. Serious advice needed because I am lost. I, female, have been with my boyfriend, I call him Adam, for almost a year now. I met him through my master's degree in the UK. When I was a sophomore in college, I had a long-term boyfriend, who I'll call Kyle, who took his own life. We were together for 3 years and I would never wish the pain of losing someone like that on my worst enemy. When we started college, Kyle gifted me a locket with the word "most" engraved on the back of it. It was our thing. It meant he loved me most. Sappy, but it was ours. Since his passing, this has been my most valuable possession and I do not go anywhere without it. It is my last piece of Kyle. After finishing my degree and struggling the entire time, I decided that I needed to get out of town where everything happened and decided to study my master's degree in the UK, which is where I met Adam. He's the first person I've allowed myself to love since losing Kyle. I really loved our relationship up until this. If it is true, we'll never be able to forgive him. Adam has always been insecure of Kyle, asking hypothetical questions like if Kyle was still alive, would I still be with him? And would I prefer about him over Kyle, etc, etc. I usually dodge the questions and never give him an answer, as I don't condone these type of questions and I don't want to feed into it. We have also had to have several conversations regarding Adam talking badly about Kyle. He also dislikes if I post about Kyle on his birthday or death anniversary or have hard days. He sees this as that I don't love him and I'm still hung up on Kyle. No matter how many years that pass and how much I love Adam, Kyle was my first and his life was cut short. He was also my best friend. I will mourn his life forever, even if I have moved on romantically. He knows how much this necklace from Kyle means to me and how devastated I've been these last 2 weeks frantically searching our apartment for it. I took a shower one day and set the necklace in the same place I always do. When I came out the shower, it was gone, and Adam swears he has no idea where it is, and it must have fallen somewhere and got lost. I've been beside myself, spent nights in tears over losing this. Adam has a sister who we will call Jane. Jane recently celebrated her 21st birthday. I'm in her Snapchat private story where she posted the beautiful locket that her big brother got her for a special day. It was the same locket. I know it because it has the same engraving on the back. I don't know how Adam explained that one, but he must have somehow. Me and Jane are not particularly close, and that isn't something I feel I can just confront her about casually. I also feel silly bringing it up to Adam in case it isn't the same locket and I'm just going insane. I'm looking for excuses because I was careless and lost it. I don't see where else Adam would have got this locket, as it was made for me by a small business back in the States. She was local to Kyle and I, and her work has always been my favorite. Advice on how to ask Adam about this. I know if I do, he'll deny it either way, and this locket means the world to me. I need it back. Thanks. Let's face it, that is the locket, and frankly, there is no way back from what he's done to you here. He's destroyed your trust, and I can't see him changing anytime soon about his thoughts of Kyle. He knew how much that meant to you, and then somehow gifted it to his sister like you're not going to see it one day. I mean, what the fuck? And I'm sorry to be blunt about it, but I think that's the end of that for between you two. But in regards to your necklace, you want it back. I would just talk to Adam's sister immediately and say what's happened. I'm pretty sure she's going to be devastated that her brother's done this as well. If I was in that sister's position and someone came up to me and told me that, I would be devastated. And of course, immediately give that necklace back. Someone else said the same and said reaching out to the sister, and OP said, I don't intend to stay with my boyfriend. I just need to figure out a way to make sure I get the necklace back. I mean, There's always police involvement as well, right? OP on needing to end the relationship and move her things out. OP says the relationship will definitely be done. It is just tricky. We share an apartment. His name is on the lease as he's from the UK and I'm American. Working out the best way around it so I don't become homeless and trying to scrape together enough for a trip home for a while. Someone says, can I ask, what are your thoughts on his red flag behaviors being jealous of a person who died prematurely? It seems like it didn't occur to you that those are massive red flags before the necklace theft. OP says I've noticed there are red flags. I guess I've just excused them as Adam is the first person I've found myself having those feelings for again. Also, we share an apartment. His name is on the lease because he is from the UK and I'm from the States. I'm also a student trying to scrape together enough money to go back home for a while. I know it's a stupid reason to stay in a disrespectful relationship, but this is a foreign country and I'm mostly alone here. Another commenter says if he denies it, tell him to produce the receipt or bank statement from the purchase. If he claims he paid cash, ask him what jewelry store or site he bought it from. Reach out to them to see if they ever sold something like that. Then, when he can't prove he bought it, send photos of yourself wearing the locket to his sister and let her know that Adam stole it from you. If she knows about your late boyfriend, you can let her know that it's the last piece you have of him and you need it back. Hopefully she's a good person and returns it. He's competing with your late partner. Once you get your locket back, leave. And the comments pretty much just went down that path. But OP comes in with her update and says, thanks everyone for all the advice. It's been almost 3 weeks since I posted and I didn't plan to update, but I've seen a few comments asking for one. A day or two after the initial post, I confronted Adam about the locket. He claimed he did not know what I was talking about and he couldn't believe I could be as cold as to accuse him of this. When he asked for receipts or any proof that the locket was not the same as mine, he couldn't produce any and got angry and stormed out of our apartment. He came back that night, tried to gaslight me into believing I was the one who created a problem out of nothing, and even that the necklace he got his sister had no engraving whatsoever. Unlucky for him, I'd contacted his mum while he was away, stated that I had misplaced my locket and was wondering if it had accidentally taken home by Adam when he was visiting. She got back to me pretty quickly saying that she had found my necklace on my daughter Jane's present pile stacked away in a corner. She said that she would return the necklace to me as soon as possible and that herself or Jane must have mistaken it for one of her presents and put it back in the pile. She promised me that she would keep hold of it in her room until she got the chance to return it. Immediately after I had confirmation that Adam's mum had the locket, I booked the cheapest flight home I could find and asked his mum for a lift to the airport. That way she could return the necklace. She agreed, and after that I sat planning exactly how I would tell Adam that we were breaking up. I didn't need him to admit to stealing the necklace. The fact that I had enough doubt in my mind that I knew he had taken it was enough for me to know that this relationship was going nowhere. I just wanted my necklace back. I stayed with Adam until my flight, which was about a week ago. I let him and his mum drive me to the airport. I left a note, breaking up with him, telling him that my friends would be by to pick up my stuff and move it between their flats. I took a leave of absence from uni until I work out where I'm going to stay when I get back to the UK, and I've contacted my landlord about taking my name off the lease. When Adam's mum gave me back my necklace, his face was priceless. He looked like a deer in the headlights. He was so angry, but he couldn't show it in front of his mum. His sister Jane hasn't once questioned the missing necklace and it's been around 2 weeks now. I doubt she will ever notice. She is rather spoiled. I am glad to update that I'm safe. I am back home with my necklace from Kyle. I'm just home from visiting his grave, telling him this entire story and laughing about it. It reminded me that I should update and probably hold higher standards in men for myself. Thank you for your love and support. And the top comment on this one said, wow, what a roller coaster. It sounds like you handled that situation with some serious finesse. Confronting him, getting the necklace back and breaking free, all while keeping your dignity intact. That's impressive. You can just picture Adam's face when his mum handed back your necklace. Talk about a plot twist. It's like he thought he was playing chess, but you were playing 4D checkers. I'm so glad you're back home, and it's awesome that you took the time to visit Kyle's grave and share a laugh about it. Here's to higher standards and better men in your future. Absolutely. And yeah, there was no other way around this after what he'd done. It was obvious that he's the one that stole the necklace. From your story, there was nothing else it could have been apart from like a pet coming in or a crow flying in your window and taking it away. But come on, man. We all knew it was Adam, and the ending to this was always going to be the outcome. And I know it's sad that you lost a relationship, but there was lots of red flags all the way through this with his behavior regarding Kyle. I don't think that was ever going to go away. And in some ways, it sounded like it escalated during your relationship. But the thought process behind Adam is absolutely wild. Like, he thought you're never going to see his sister with potentially this necklace on. It's just like, what are you thinking? Obviously just not, but madness. Anyway, now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And let's move on to another story. Now, our next story comes from the Am I Overreacting subreddit that says, Am I overreacting? My friend found my husband on Tinder. This is from Puzzle-Headed Frame 439 and says, I, 29 female, and my husband, 38 male, are expecting our first baby, and I'm 30 weeks pregnant. My co-worker, who was a good friend, approached me at work asking, does your husband have a brother that looks just like him? I said, yeah, he does. Why? Then she asked, is his name John? To which I replied, no, it's not actually. Then she explained that she was scrolling Tinder and came across this profile that looked just like my husband. She showed me the screenshots and I was shocked to see that my husband is currently on Tinder and using a fake name of John. Now, some backstory. We actually met on Tinder and he used the same photos for this profile as he did when I came across his profile, and also the same biography. We met 8 years ago. I was out of town working, about 100 miles. My friend has a Tinder set to the farthest distance radius possible when I found out this information. My theory now is he must use Tinder to try and hook up with women while I'm away, as I go out of town for work a couple of days on a regular basis. Either that or is this a one-off thing? Because his Tinder hasn't changed since I met him on there. I am worried he's had Tinder on and off our whole relationship. Am I overreacting? Should I blow up our whole lives and marriage with a baby on the way? I haven't yet approached him about this because I don't know the best way to go about it. But I have screenshots and everything. And now that I'm back home, I've been distant. And he keeps asking, what is wrong? Now, I'm not sure how Tinder actually works. I remember people seeing like videos and stuff of people swiping left and right. Is that Tinder? I think it is. But wouldn't you be able to just set up your own sort of, I'm not saying you should do this, but it just popped into my head as I was reading it. Can't you just set up your own little profile and then just go to his and then link and then message him, seeing if he's interested? Should he have thought of the same lines and said, girl, I would make a fake profile and match with him. Then see what he's doing on there. Or have a friend do it. I think you already know what he's on there for, but if you want to get legit proof, go get it. I fear he will try to gaslight you and lie about what he's doing. Opie says that is a really good idea. I don't know if I have the patience to wait that long. I do not have a good poker face or acting skills. Miss Thick Biscuit says this is exactly what I did and how I caught my boyfriend cheating. He matched and messaged my fake profile in like 2.5 seconds flat. What a fucking idiot. Cheaters are low-life dummies that lack emotional intelligence. If he's cheating, it won't be hard to catch him, but definitely set the trap first so that he can't try and lie his way out of it. Cloud Sitter says yes, because he swear he just forgot to take down his Tinder profile. Going through the Big D says this doesn't get better. So let's say you sit down and have a long talk with him. He actually comes clean and admits he still uses Tinder. Will you believe him if he says he's not met anyone off there? Or maybe just one person? Is that believable, or would you still have doubts? I know I'd not trust that I'd be able to get over this. I'd not believe what he told me after confronting him. And I'd not trust that I didn't have some horrible STI I need to worry about passing to my child. He didn't care about your or his kiddo when he did this. I don't see how we'd recover. Opie says yes, I've had the same thoughts. Very shocked he's put our baby at risk like this, and chance ruining our family before it can even begin. Zora Neale Thurston says, when somebody makes a Tinder account, they're not chancing ruining the family, they're actively doing it. OP replied saying, facts. So OP came in with her update and said, I confronted my husband with the news that my friend found his Tinder profile. Many of you have wondered if it's the old account from 8 years that he just never deleted. To this, I know for a fact it is not. Reasons? 1. I went back through my old photos and found the screenshots I took of his profile 8 years ago, and it turns out it's not the exact same. Some photos are the same, particularly the first one, so it made me think it was the same profile. Also, the caption is slightly different, the difference of a single emoji. The name changed to John. 3. The updated selections such as dream job, lifestyle selections, and interests. These all had selections with things that sounded like him. These sections are new from when I used Tinder 8 years ago. 4. Above his name and age section on the first picture you come across while swiping Tinder, it says active. I've seen many of you comment and also read online that this means he's been using this account in some capacity recently, as in at least the last 2 weeks. Haven't been able to nail down the actual time frame. 5. People are also saying Tinder will not recommend profiles of people who are not using the app. They kind of just remove dormant users from the algorithm. 6. He's attractive enough to have someone wants to use his photos, but reason 1 also rules out the catfishing theory. 2 of the photos are different from the 8 years ago profile, although still old. And I've seen them before, so this is why I believed it was the same. No one would have access to them. He doesn't have social media. I decided I would just talk to him rather than put myself through the stress of trying to catch him on a date, if you like pina colada style. Being pregnant, I'm really trying to stay calm and as low stress as possible for the health of my baby. Plus tricking and trapping in relationships just isn't my style. In my mind, he's already caught. The reasons I listed above are proof enough for me. As many of you and myself predicted, he has resorted to gaslighting and lying. He vehemently denies that he's been using Tinder, meeting other women, or that he has had sex with anyone else, yet offers no explanation for the presence of this Tinder profile. He implores me to think logically about when he could do this, as he's at home with me every night, which is true, but I had to remind him I leave home alone for at least a couple of days per month. He insists that he loves me and is excited for our baby, etc. But when I asked to see his phone, he refused, saying, I don't want to be that couple who looks through each other's phones. I told him, given this situation, if you won't let me check your phone, then I cannot trust or believe you, and will have to assume the worst. In my mind, we had been very happy and content recently. Things have just felt good. This just goes to show you never really know a person. I believe there must be something deeply wrong with him or our relationship to want to cheat, especially at this happy time. I've moved into the guest bedroom for now while I plan my next move. Yes, I will be getting an STD check. Thank you all for the advice, support and kind words. It's instilled a sense of confidence in me to handle this. The comments say, I'll try anything but twice says, I commented on the last post, but this exact same thing happened to me. The only difference is that I was dumb enough to stay. I wanted to make it work for my children. It didn't. He pretended to be interested in therapy. He pretended to be faithful. All the while he was still meeting randoms off of Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, you name it, for unprotected one-night stands. He would delete the apps before coming home and reinstall them in the morning when he got to work. My entire life felt like a lie, and I wasted too much time on him. I think you're a badass for not tolerating this behavior and for not allowing the lies and gaslighting to sway you. Valuable argument says, my ex-husband attempted this as well. Samsung phones show recently downloaded apps in the store. The more you know. Desperate to Not Dream says, in quotes, I don't want to be that couple who checks on each other's phones, and then says, lol, and I don't want to be that couple who has a cheater in it. My Dirty Alt says, up next, honey, I realized I should have let you check to assuage your concerns. Here, hands OP his phone after having scrubbed it. Absolutely red flags all over. And if anyone else was confused about trying to catch him on a date, if you like pina colada style, apparently it means, Smiling Jaguar said, in the song, a bored husband responds to a personal ad in a newspaper and they decide to go on a date. Turns out the woman who posted was his wife. But now, I'm going to turn this one to you guys. Is this red flags for you? Can you see any other possible explanation for this? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories, and every story that you get involved in. I'm absolutely blown away by your support every single day, and I can never thank you enough for the love, support that you show, not only to me, but to the stories and to each other in the comments as well. You have created the most wholesome thing that I could have ever hoped for. So thank you so much. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.
Wake up, get up, stretch my legs, eat some breakfast, milk and eggs, brush my teeth up, wash my face, throw my clothes on, start my day. Wake up.